Discovery days should be at the end of the recruitment process.
Well, I don't believe they should be at the end of the franchisee recruitment process.
You're wrong.
Oh, gloves off already. Tell me why I'm wrong then, Ed.
I've got to drive 3 hours to get to Birmingham or
Yeah.
wherever it may be. Come in, I'm herded into a little room and just sort of fed some prawn sandwiches or something.
Cucumber, darling.
Yeah, that's why I think this should be at the end. Welcome to the Full Disclosure Podcast with me, Ed Pennell, the founder of The Franchised, and
Me, Jo Middleton, founder of Franchise Business School.
each episode, one host will make and defend a strong statement around one topic in the franchising industry, and the other has to battle against it. Today it's my turn, so let's get on with it. So, Jo, discovery days should be at the end of the recruitment process. What's your thoughts on this first?
Well, I don't believe they should be at the end of the franchisee recruitment process necessarily, because
You're wrong.
Oh, gloves off already. Tell me why I'm wrong then, Ed.
Well, the way that I've seen them, discovery days, it's, give them the brochure, bring them in, and it's all kind of in a room, maybe 5, 6, 10 franchisees, depending on the size of the brand. And then they've got a presentation in front of them and they're just kind of talked at for an hour, 2 hours, something along these lines. They may be shown around and they get to interact with a couple of people in the office. Maybe there's a bit of lunch and then they go home. And to me, that's just such an impersonal process. And it's almost like we're just trying to filter out the people the candidates as quickly and easily as possible. And if I was a candidate in that process, I actually want to go and see that head office. I want to get to know the brand on a one-to-one basis and feel like they actually care about me and feel like I should actually, they actually want to find out more about me. So the ones that I've attended, they don't ask that many questions. It's just make a statement about yourself and we'll go around the room and then we'll start talking at you. So yeah, that's why I think this should be at the end. It's just too impersonal at the front end.
So I think that discovery days, so for example, if you're recruiting franchisees and your next discovery day isn't for 3 months, 2 months, 3 months, but you've got a franchisee who's ready to come on board, why wait until the next discovery day and feed them onto a discovery day? Why not go through the presentation with them, meet up, have a coffee, introduce them to maybe a couple of other franchisees so that they can talk through and get their opinions on what it's like to be a franchisee with the brand, and feed them into the funnel, if you like, so that they can then get onboarded and start running their own business. But then also, if, for example, you are waiting right until the end of the recruitment process to get your discovery day done and get franchisees on, you don't know whether that person is necessarily the right fit for the brand through the rest of the funnel. So you can eliminate certain things and you can qualify them. But for example, they could turn up and be wearing scruffy trainers, have dirty fingernails and maybe body odour, and you might not want them to be the sort of client-facing brand representative that a franchisee is. So I think that they need to happen regularly, but they shouldn't necessarily be at the end of the process.
Yeah, so I just think I hear what you're saying, meet some franchisees and things like that, but you're taking up franchisees' time for people that aren't even sure they want to join the business, right, or join the franchise. So at least if you get them through a process, few calls, few face-to-face meetings, one-to-one, whether that's on Zoom or in a hotel or wherever it may be, that kind of is only taking up the recruitment person's time as opposed to the franchisee and the marketing team and whoever else it is. So to me, only spend that extra time, using up your staff's time by having it at the end of the process and only speaking to people, only bringing in people who are deadly serious about joining the business. At that point, yeah, you can then see if they've got scruffy fingernails and before you make a decision. But at least by that point, they are a bit more qualified and you're taking up less time of the staff and the franchisees that are going to meet with them.
I think that a franchisee should prepare a business plan and cash flow forecast for the territory that they're going to take on. And a lot of the information in the discovery day will be helpful to them in preparing that business plan and that cash flow forecast for the territory that they're looking at purchasing. So if you're waiting until the end of the process, when are they going to submit their business plan and their projected cash flow forecasts so that the franchisor can make sure that they're not thinking they're going to become a millionaire in month one of running the territory?
I think that's part of the recruiter's role, though, right? In those one-to-one sessions, to say, look, this is realistic. This isn't. Why don't you prepare your business plan, and then when you come in and meet with us, bring it in. We'll talk through and just see if it's realistic or not. So, for me, that's really important. But I got a question for you. How would you feel the other side if you were into a discovery day straight away and then didn't get to meet the brand until you join? You know, rest of the people from the brand until you join.
I think that it would be reassuring for me to have that, maybe not right at the beginning. So I think a qualifying call with the prospective franchisee to make sure that some key areas like driving, they might need to drive to be able to take equipment to clients' houses, for example, to make sure that some of the key areas are knocked off. And then a longer call where you can go through any of the questions they've got and just get to know them a bit more and complete an application form with them. And then I feel the discovery day needs to come in at that point so that from the franchisee's point of view, you're actually taking them seriously, and they get to meet you, they get the franchisor or the head office team, and maybe get some nice freebies and branded merch, but also get all the information that they need to make an informed decision at that point whether or not they do want to carry on down the process or they want to actually decide it's not for them.
I think listening to that, there's maybe a little bit of leeway, but like full disclosure, the reason why I put this down as a statement is because I've seen franchise brands advertise to, you know, anybody and everybody come to our discovery day and learn more about us, and I think that's completely the wrong thing to do in my head. So that's why I've set this out as a statement. But yeah, maybe I am a little bit flexible as to when that could be in the process. I just thought towards the end makes a lot more sense than right at the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think we can agree on that then.
Yeah, I just imagine sitting there as like as a franchisee and just sort of filled in maybe a form online or something like that. I get a phone call, right, come along to our offices. I've got to drive 3 hours to get to Birmingham or wherever it may be. Come in, I'm herded into a little room and just sort of
talked at,
fed some prawn sandwiches or something.
Cucumber, darling.
Cucumber sandwiches, whatever it is, you know. They've been sat out there for 2 hours.
They're warm, crusty.
Yeah. And then just droned on at by somebody who's, you know.
You fed a sales pitch, basically, is what you're thinking.
Yeah, and you just sit there reading off of the presentation while they sort of drone on, and then you hear some other people's stories. I guess it's nice to maybe meet with some of the other franchisees or potential franchisees, the other candidates, whatever you want to call them, and see what they're thinking. So it gives you some ideas of what to ask.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think in today's world, I want a more personalised, process to go through.
Yeah, you want the franchisor to take your application personally more seriously than treat it as a sort of herd cattle.
Yeah, exactly. I want to speak to the people on a one-to-one basis and explain to them why I think I'm suitable for their brand. I don't know, maybe I'm just odd, but
no, I think both arguments are quite valid on that one. I don't think it should be right at the beginning. I completely agree on that, but I don't think it should be right at the end either. Because I think that they need time to digest the information from the discovery day and do a bit more due diligence before they fully commit based on the information that they've heard at the discovery day.
Awesome. So let's draw a line under that one and call it done.
Done. Every franchise should have a financial disclosure document.